Hi and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. If you are new and you like makeup, beauty, hair or hauls, then please consider subscribing. So for today's video, it's a little bit of, I'd say, of a controversial one. Some people love these, some people don't like them so much, which is absolutely fair enough. But it is a dupes video. So it's going to be a full face of makeup dupes today. Some of them I have picked up fairly recently, so they're brand new products. Others I have used before, so they're kind of tried and tested products, shall we say. So the first product that I have is this one here. So this is the Primark Prep and Perfect, which is a dupe of the Bobbi Brown face base. A lot of people have been talking about this and it is actually a really good product. I have used, quite a lot of it, as you can see. And it is really, really nice. It's kind of like a consistency of a really rich moisturizer, which is really, really nice under your makeup. It's not too oily. It just sits really nice on the skin. So this one costs just £4.50, whereas the Bobbi Brown one costs like £44 or something. So it's a massive, massive saving. So I'm going to pop this on first and yeah, then we'll let it sit for a couple of minutes before I go ahead with the rest of the products. Okay, so there's the product all on. So as you can see, it's not too oily. It just gives a really nice kind of glowy, and it's quite bouncy as well. It gives like a bouncy sort of feeling to your skin. It's really, really nice. I actually really like it as a moisturizer in general. It's a lovely product. So next I'll be going in with another Primark product. It's this one here, another one that's been spoken about quite a lot, and I actually really love this product. I use it quite often. So this is the PS Flawless Glow. So this is also from Primark. I can't remember if I said that. But this is a dupe of the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter. There are quite a few dupes of that around. There's actually one that I tried fairly recently from Beauty Bay called the Glow Filter. Beautiful product. Elf also do one which is really, really nice, the Halo Glow. And yeah, and then obviously there's this one as well. I'm sure there'll be others as well, but today we're going to do this one. So I have the shade Buttermilk. There are quite a few shades of this. It goes to quite dark in shade, so that's really good. And just like the Charlotte Tilbury one, it has a lovely big doe foot on it. So I'm going to apply this kind of pretty much all over my face, which is how I would normally. I've actually used a lot of it. I've actually used a lot of this. This one you can use on its own, or, you know, you can use it underneath your foundation, which is what I tend to do. I just really like the kind of the dewy underglow that it gives. And then what I do, obviously, you know, each their own. If you want to use your hands, use your hands. But I use a brush. So I've just got like a kabuki sort of foundation brush. And I'm just going to brush that in. So just giving you a quick close-up of my skin. This is how it looks on its own applied. You could quite easily wear this on its own, you know, especially in the sort of the warmer months as just a kind of, not really a foundation, but like just a sheer coverage, shall we say. But yeah, it does work really beautiful under your foundation, BB cream, whatever you like to use as well. I just find it gives that kind of really nice glow that just shows through your foundation just beautifully, really. So with that in mind, we are going to go in with this product here. So this is the Sheglam Skinfluencer Full Coverage Foundation Balm. I've got the shade Nude, and this one I believe is a dupe of the KVD Apple Balm. So this one looks like this. As you can see, it is one that I've used before. And this one I've kind of heard mixed reviews on, if I'm totally honest with you. I really like this. I think it's a really nice product. Some people don't like it so much. Some people love it. It is just one of those things. It's personal preference, as with most makeup products, really. But yeah, I like it. So I'm going to be using this today as my dupe foundation. So I like to go in with a brush. So just taking, as you can see, it's really quite full coverage. You don't need a lot. I literally went in like that with my brush. Again, you can use whatever you like. If you prefer to use a sponge straight onto the skin, do that. If you prefer to use a puff, use that. This is just my personal preference. I just like to use a brush, and then I use a sponge just to pat it in afterwards. Just realised I've not actually mentioned like the prices, have I? This one I think is around £6 or something, compared to the KVD one, which I think is around like 30 odd pounds, maybe more. I think it's 30 something. And obviously the Flawless Filter is, I think that's around 30 something pounds as well, maybe like 34, 35. And the Primark one is only a £5. So again, a huge difference in price. Okay, so that's just plonked on my face really with a brush. I haven't really taken much care to blend it in or anything. As you can see around my nose, it's still quite streaky. So I'm going to go in with my sponge and just pat this in now. Right, so there's the foundation all applied. So again, a quick close-up. So that's how it looks on my skin. I actually think it's really nice. It's quite dewy. I think obviously because I've got that Flawless Filter underneath as well, you can see that kind of showing through the foundation, which, you know, makes it that little bit more glowy. But it is actually a really nice kind of dewy, glowy foundation in itself as well. But yeah, I like it. I think it's really nice. So then I'm going to go on to eyes, and we'll come back and do the rest of the base afterwards. So for eyes, we'll do brows first. And I have been absolutely obsessed with this product. I've been using it every day since I first tested it out. This is another one from Primark, and this is the PS Fix and Sculpt Brow Wax. This is such a good product. It's a dupe for the Refy Beauty brow wax, like the original product. And yeah, it's kind of white, but it dries down, you know, you can't see it when it dries down. But I absolutely love this. I think it's really, really good. So this one looks, it kind of looks like that. So it's like a white product on a really kind of thin spoolie. And I use this just to kind of set my brows down really. So just popping it through, just brush up. And then I kind of almost tease those ones down like that. I like to pop, because I don't have a lot of growth here, so I do have kind of minimal hairs at the front. I like to just pop a little bit more on and just kind of squish those ones down, but I let the others dry as they are. Right, so then I'll just give that a minute just to dry and set down. And then what I'll do after that, I'll do this off camera because it's not really a dupe, but yeah, I'll just do my brow hairs just at the front really. I suppose you could call this a dupe for like the next brow pen, but it's not exactly, you know, expensive to buy that product. But anyway, this one is the Sheglam Frida Kahlo brow pen. Love this. It's so nice, really nice fine nib and a really nice colour as well. So yeah, I'm going to pop this on and then I'll come back and we will do eyes. So brows done, and next I'm going to go in with this product here. This is another Primark one. Obviously there are a lot of Primark products here, but this one is the PS Eyeshadow Base Primer, which is a dupe for the Urban Decay. I can't remember what it's called, but it's the one that's been out for absolutely ages and a lot of people like it. So this one cost, I think it was around £3, whereas the Urban Decay one is like, I think it's like 20 odd quid. So I'm going to pop this on as a primer. This is also one that I've used before and it's all right. It's not got masses of coverage or anything like that, but it's not a bad product. You know, it works well as a base for your eyeshadow. So obviously we've got like a little doe foot applicator, like I think the Urban Decay one's got this. And yeah, I'm just kind of applying that, you know, as you do to the lid. And then I'll just use a fluffy brush just to blend it out afterwards as well. Right, so primer on, as you can see, it doesn't give you like loads of coverage. You know, if you're wanting something that's going to give you like a flawless base to put your eyeshadow over the top, this isn't it. It doesn't do that, but it does work really well for, you know, your eyeshadow not creasing or anything like that. So it's in itself, it's a nice base. So for eyeshadow, I am going to go in with this palette just here. So this one is from W7 and this is the Sweet Nectar Pressed Pigment Palette. I think I've actually got the original Too Faced one. I think this is a dupe for the Too Faced, the Butterfly palette, the, what was it called? Yeah, Too Femme, that was it, the Too Femme palette. So this is the colour story. So as you can see, the colours are really, really similar to the Too Femme palette. Really pretty, lovely for, you know, springtime. And yeah, I just think these are absolutely stunning, really, really nice. The Too Femme palette actually had mixed reviews. I got on quite well with it, but I've seen quite a lot of negative reviews. So it'd be interesting to see if this one, you know, performs better than that one does. So I'm quite liking the warm tones in this palette actually, especially these ones just here on the end. So I think I'm going to kind of go with that. But I really love this shimmer just here as well, so I might use that one. I went for like the greeny sort of shades last time in the Too Femme palette, so I think I'm going to do that. Right, so I'm going to start off with this kind of big one here with this gorgeous little hummingbird on it. And apply that into my crease and just above. Very pigmented, really, really nice so far. I'm just going to pop this, as I say, into my crease and kind of just above as well. Yeah, you can see that is really quite pigmented. Okay, so just like that, that is a really, really nice shade actually for the crease. It's almost like a really nice bronzer shade. So then just to blend out the edges of that colour, I'm going to go in with this one here right in the corner, which I would say is kind of like a perfect shade to blend out really. So I'm just popping a little bit of that on my brush and just blending out the edges of this one. Okay, which has worked really lovely to blend that shade out actually. So then I'm going to go in, I've just stuck my thumb in it, to this shade just here. So it's the darkest shade in the palette. It's kind of like, I'd say it's a bit of a chocolate brown, but it's got a slight purple undertone to it as well. So I'm going to go in with that one just on the outer part of my lid just here. Again, beautiful, beautiful pigment. Really, really nice. Yeah, that's a stunning colour. I do love a dark eyeshadow, I have to say. This palette was £5.99, so a real bargain. Just got hair there. So yeah, this one compared to the Too Faced one. Now I paid £15 for it because I got it from an outlet, but I think normally it's still priced up online for around like £33 to £35. So yeah, just noticed I've got a crusty bit on the inside of my eye there. I'll get rid of that in a minute. So that's that shade on there. Absolutely effortless that one was. It was really, really beautifully pigmented and blended in really nicely to that shade just above as well. So then on this inner part here, I'm going to go on with a shimmer, and I'm going to go for this one, I think. So it's kind of like, it looks a bit of a mishmash of gold and purple. So we're going to give it a try. I'm going to use a brush to pop that on. Looks quite crumbly, this one, so I expect a bit of fallout, but oh my word, that is beautiful. That is stunning. Really, really nice, especially with a brush. Normally I have to like use a brush to kind of almost outline where I want it. and then I go in with my finger afterwards, but I don't think I'm going to need to. This is going on beautifully with a brush. It's definitely more gold. There's not really, can't really see any purple in it, but that's fine. Gold's nice. Which is weird because on the brush, I don't know if you can see that, it does look quite kind of pinky purple, but it's definitely on the lid, it's just, all I can see is gold. That is such a pretty shimmer, really, really nice. I did kind of use my finger just to, I didn't really put any more on, I just used it to blend it, shall we say. Right, so what I'm going to do is just to get rid of that harsh line just there on the crease, I'm just going to quickly run back in with the brush that I used to do that brown shade and just literally use that a little bit just to kind of very slightly blend it. That's it. Right, okay, so then underneath, I'm going to go in with, I think I'm going to use that kind of bronzer shade that I used in the crease and just run that underneath my lower lash line. Okay, so that's the eye look done. I'm really happy with that. That palette, I would say that is better than the Too Femme one by Too Faced, and it was nearly £6, so £5.99 this was. And what an absolute bargain. I'm so happy I bought this. I wasn't going to get this one because obviously I've already got the other one and I thought I didn't really want to double up, but I'm glad I did. It's a really, really beautiful palette. So for eyelashes, I am going to go on with another W7 product. It's this one here, which is the Absolute Lashes. And as you can probably tell, this is a dupe for the Benefit Their Real Mascara, one that has been around for so long. I used to use it, I think, when I was in my like late teens. Brush is very, very similar. So that's the brush just there. So yeah, almost identical, I would say. Right then, let's see what it's got. I'm so messy at applying mascara. I normally get quite a bit of it on my lid and have to clean up afterwards. So if I do, forgive me. It's just me. It's quite a wet formula. I normally like my mascaras to be a bit drier, you know, like when you've had them a couple of weeks or whatever. But the brush, yeah, as I say, it's almost identical to the Benefit one, is really, really nice at, you know, gripping each individual lash and separating them nicely. Right, okay, so there's with one coat of the mascara on compared to without. Obviously my natural lashes are extremely blonde. I've got some down there now. It's okay. I wouldn't say it's like, you know, amazing or anything like that. I don't prefer it to my usual L'Oreal one that I use. It's all right. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and do the other eye and pop another coat on, and we'll see how it looks after 2 coats. Okay, so that's after 2 coats there. Yeah, it's all right. It is a dupe of the Benefit Their Real, I would say, with regards to the look of the packaging and the brush. But if I remember when I used to use that, it was actually a really good mascara. You know, it made your lashes really pop. Pain in the backside to get it off, but it did, you know, make your lashes look really nice. Whereas this one's not really done an awful lot. It's a bit too wet. It took ages to dry as well. I was sat here for about 5 minutes just waiting for it to dry. Which when, like myself, you're quite messy at applying it anyway, it makes it even worse. So yeah, I wouldn't say I'm overly keen on that product, to be honest with you. Right then, so for the rest of the base products, I'm going to go in for blush, bronzer and highlighter using these products here. These 2 are new. This one I have used before. So these are all from Makeup Revolution, or Revolution Pro, I should say. and they are the Wand Trio. So these I bought separately because I already had this one, but you can buy them all together as a trio or you can buy them separately. So these cost, now I think they were either £6 or £8 each, and they are, you know, a pretty good dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury ones, which, as we all know, Charlotte Tilbury is quite expensive, so you're talking like £30 odd per product. So I'm going to start off by going in with this one here. So this is the Goddess Glow Cream Contour and Bronze Wand. So I'm going to use it more as a bronzer because I prefer that to kind of the contoured look. I went for the shade Light, so it's this one here. And then we have a little sponge applicator just there. I haven't used this yet, but I did just kind of swatch it on my hand to see what it was like. So we just give it, when you open these, by the way, you have to twist it here. A lot of people don't realise that, and they end up like splitting it because from, you know, squeezing it, but you have to twist it here. So I've already done that. So I'm just going to give it a little squeeze and get some to the surface and just pop it where I would normally put my bronzer. So I'm going to start off by doing the cheeks first, and then we'll work our way around. So as you can see, it's quite warm toned. This one, as I say, is light. So I think personally, if you were looking to use this as a contour, to be honest, it's a bit too warm for that, but it would be quite dark as well, just as a contour. So I'm going to use my sponge just to blend that in. And as I say, I'm using mine as a bronzer, so that's why I'm doing it a bit higher. It's actually blending out really nicely. So just there, I think that's actually beautiful. Do you know what? When you blend it out, it is quite light. So yeah, it looks quite dark when you first put it on, but it blends out really nicely. That's actually really quite lovely. It's really nice. Right, I'm just going to do some on the top of my, sort of around my hairline as well. Try not to get too much in my hair. So just around here. And then I'll just pop a little bit on my jawline as well. So just a couple of dots there. And just there. Yeah, that's actually really quite nice. It is warm. So I would say it's definitely more on the bronzer side than the contour side, but it's a really lovely product, blends out really nicely. So then we'll go in with the blush. So for the blush, I chose the pink one. So this again is the Revolution Pro, the Hydra Bright Cream Blush Wand. So it's kind of just like the other one where we take the top off and we have a little sponge applicator just here. So again, giving it a little squeeze. And then I'm going to pop this on my usual areas where I put my blush, not enough. Which is up here. I absolutely love cream blushes at the moment. I'm addicted to the Rare Beauty ones. I think they're absolutely stunning. So yeah, I'm really into like cream blushes. And then with this one, I'm actually going to take another stippling foundation brush just here and use that just to blend that in. And I like to take it up to my temple as usual because I find it just gives me that bit of a lift. It's a really nice kind of shimmery blush. Well, it does dry down quite quick. You have to be quite quick with it. Probably should have done it, you know, separately on both cheeks. Oh, it's not too bad now. It's fine now. That is stunning. Absolutely beautiful. Really, really nice. So it gives that really gorgeous kind of perfect pink tone, but because it's got that shimmer in it, you almost don't need a highlighter with it. It kind of has that natural highlight. Oh, that is so nice. Really, really beautiful. So I am going to use a highlighter because I also have the highlighter wand. So this is the Goddess Glow Cream Highlighter in the shade Ablaze. This one I have used before. It's a bit of a mess actually. So yeah, but we're going to pop this one on. So this one, all I do is kind of pop it on the high points, just there. And then I'm going to go in with the same brush that I used to do the blush and just blend that just there. Maybe use my finger as well. This one's actually gone weird. Maybe it's because it's what was left on the top of the sponge. This side's all right. So take note of this side. This side is beautiful. That's gone really, really lovely. As I say, I have used it before and I do really like this product. I think this side is just where it's probably what was left on top of the sponge, so it's gone a bit dry. Let me have a little play with it. There we go, fixed it. I just popped a little bit more on. So yeah, really, really lovely set of products. Those three, I think they are absolutely stunning, especially for the price. And yeah, obviously if you don't want to splash out on the Charlotte Tilbury ones and you want to save some money, then definitely a beautiful little set of wands. They are really, really nice. So the very last product that I have is for my lips, and this is another Charlotte Tilbury dupe, and this is one of the ones I said was a lot more obvious. So it's this one here. So this is from W7, and this is a lipstick, quite obviously. This is in the shade L Word. So it's like this. It's kind of like a pinky, a sort of a dark pink shade, I would say, but with a sort of a nudie tone in it as well. It smells like Play-Doh. I noticed that when I opened it before. I was like, oh, it smells like Play-Doh. So yeah, if you like Play-Doh, then yeah, it smells nice. So I'm going to whack that on. I'm just going to pop some setting spray on first, then we'll go ahead and we'll put the lipstick on. Okay, so I'm just going to whack it straight on without a liner. Okay, so that's how we're looking. So it's quite a glossy formula. It's really pretty, a lovely shade. I really like the shade. I think it's really nice. It actually looks really nice with this kind of neutral eye look as well. I think that's beautiful. It feels really nice as well. It's nice and it feels nice and hydrating. Yeah, beautiful. That one was like £3.99, which obviously compared to the Charlotte Tilbury ones, again, I think they're around the £26, £27 mark. So a lot cheaper. But yeah, really, really beautiful. Right then, so that's all the products done. Okay, so here is the finished look, and I'm so happy with this. It just goes to show you don't have to spend a fortune on products, you know, to get a decent makeup look out of it. I think, you know, these, to be honest, for me, have worked perfectly well. Yeah, as I say, some of the dupes are a lot more obvious, I'd say, than others. But, you know, they're still really nice. And I get, you know, I see both sides. You know, some people like it, some people don't. And I do see both sides. But in the current climate, we're trying to save as many pennies as possible. So, yeah, swings and roundabouts. Yeah, I would say that today I am particularly happy, sort of on a first impressions basis, with the eyeshadow palette. I think that is so pretty, really, really nice. Really impressed with the formula, especially for £6 for an eyeshadow palette. I think they've gone on absolutely beautifully. That shimmer is stunning, really, really nice. The mascara, yeah, not so keen on that. I've noticed as well that I've got a little bit of like darkness down here where it's obviously transferred a little bit. But yeah, you can't win them all, can you? The lipstick, beautiful. Really, really impressed with this wand sort of trio set. I think they are so nice. Obviously the highlighter I have tried before and really liked it. But it goes so nicely with the other two products. Really, really beautiful. So as always, all products shown in today's video, I will link in the description box below for you, along with any discount codes. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed watching. And if you did, please give me a thumbs up. And I'd really appreciate it. It'd mean the absolute world to me if you did enjoy watching this video and you would like to see more content from me in the future and you would like to subscribe to my channel. Until then, thanks for watching. Bye!